Welcome to Talkin Baloney.
Calvin Cocoa Pop.
This is Boochie.
Oh, gosh.
What's going on?
No script allowed.
What are you, some kind of bot? Come on, people.
Oh, yeah. You want a pickle, you gotta give him a pickle, right?
I want to be a movie star.
Wow, that sounds so interesting.
Fresh and quick.
Pudgy, pizza.
Part of the Baloney Nation.
Jim Deezy.
You guys still there?
Hey, what's up, big guy?
We are Talkin Baloney, and
Yes.
Jim, you're back on location. Jim Deezy, you're
Yep.
from the man cave.
Working on a cover story. How you doing, man?
I am the big guy. I am here in our newly renovated studio.
Oh yeah.
That's not actually downtown Rochester behind me, but that is a close facsimile. We get a better look. Oh, how beautiful.
All these viewers that we had, the money's coming in now, and we can afford to. Yeah. Not really.
It sounded good for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. When I said money, we were lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how's things going?
Going pretty good.
Mhm.
Getting back to normal back here in the Rochester. Things opening up. Everyone's out.
Yeah.
Loving the weather.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I see it on the news every day.
Yeah. So this weekend is Father's Day.
Yes, it is.
So I thought what we would do is talk about TV dads.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Why not?
Right? We've talked a lot of different topics. This kind of covers the area we usually talk, television shows that we watched growing up from the 80s.
Yep.
That's our whole podcast in a
That's
nutshell.
that's our thing.
So I thought for this first segment, I did some research and I found that the Today Show last year named the top 20 TV dads of the last 2 decades.
Hoo-hoo. This could be a monster of a list.
This is a interesting list, and I use the word interesting to mean I'm going to trash it at every chance I get.
Uh-huh.
I'm also going by this Today Show list because the last time we personally ranked TV shows, that kind of created a bit of a controversy. So,
Oh yeah. Oh geez. Well, I can't really say anything about Steve Carell in this episode because he's not he wasn't a TV dad.
that's right. So to avoid controversy, we're going to go with the Today Show list,
Okay.
and we'll bash them because that will be our contribution.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And we all know the Today Show is trash.
Well, you would think the Today Show would be a good barometer of what people are thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they understood what a TV dad is because at number 20 is Walter White from Breaking Bad.
He was making drugs.
Yeah, he's a villain. He was selling meth.
To your kids.
Yeah. He's the number one dad, though. No.
How does he make the list?
At this point, what a way to start a list with like the worst possible person, right?
Like, at that point, the list is trash. It's null and void.
A terrible start. Number 19 is Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. Now, you didn't watch Game of Thrones, but this is a dad who was like a ruler who basically disavowed his one son because he was a dwarf. And his 2 other kids were in love with each other and had like offspring together. The idea that that he's a best TV dad.
Wait a minute. Time out.
Did Al Roker make this list?
Wait, you got a guy selling meth, making meth and selling meth to kids is number 20. You got a guy that was letting his kids sleep with each other.
Yeah.
At number 19. I mean, who writes this crap? Who booked this crap?
Right. Now, at this point, you're thinking maybe they should have done a top 18 and just forgotten 19 and 20.
Yeah.
The list doesn't get much better, but we'll continue on. Okay. Number 18, they have Michael Bluth from Arrested Development, Jason Bateman's character.
No.
Yeah. Kind of a running joke on that show was how the parents on that show always kind of like neglected their kids because they were so busy concerned with their own lives and being so selfish.
Okay, so coming in at number 17, just so I'm clear on this, or number 18, is now we have child neglect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I won't even get into the later seasons where he was really a bad dad. Uh-huh. But even in the original run of the show, he was a pretty bad dad.
Oh, yeah.
Number 17, Bob Belcher, otherwise known as Bob's Burgers.
All right. Cartoon.
It's a cartoon. It's
but not the most politically correct either.
Well, there's that. I'm pretty sure he like makes his kids work at his little restaurant, so there's like this whole child labor thing going on.
Okay, so now we're breaking child labor laws.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we should do. We should count all the laws being broken by the dads on this list. Number 16 is Frank Costanza from Seinfeld, George's dad.
Yeah. He
Funny,
hated him.
Yeah. He's a funny character. Like, you get a lot of laughs, but I mean, what's the criteria here?
I mean,
he was always slapping George upside the head.
Yeah. He trashed him every chance he got. Okay. So now we're belittling our children.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a trend here.
Okay. Number 15 is Sandy Cohen, the character from the OC. I used to watch the OC. I don't have any problems with him. Like, I can't think of any crimes he committed or anything like that. But I guess he's an okay TV dad.
I can't weigh in on this one because I was not a big OC fan.
Yeah. It's surprising.
I was about to think you were going to say Orange County Choppers, but...
Wait, that would have made more sense, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, that was a dad that hated his kid. That should be on the list.
Number 14 is Raymond Barone from Everybody Loves Raymond.
All right. I could see... I mean, he was borderline like...
Do you know what that show is famous for? It's famous for being a show of a family where the kids are like never involved. The kids are barely on that show. It's like none of the stories revolve around the kids. It's more about Ray being a son of his parents than it is about him being the father to his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Best TV dad?
I mean, there's times where the kids appear in the scene, but there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot because if you notice, even when they had like a school function, the story still revolved around Ray Romano's character, even no matter where they were at.
Yeah, the kids were more like props.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you know what would be good in this scene if the kids are in the background playing.
Yeah.
Number 13, Tony Soprano.
I love this show. You know I did. And but the fact that he killed people.
Right.
And he was verbally abusive to the kids too, quite a bit. But he was that mafioso father that you knew that when the crap hit the fan, he was going to be there to clean it up or take care of it.
Right. I think he cared about his kids on the show.
Yeah.
But again, the whole killing people. Best TV dad?
Yeah, I mean,
13th best all time?
He did put a hit on his daughter-in-law, right?
Yeah. Wow.
I'm just saying.
Number 12 is Homer Simpson.
Yeah, I mean, I could see this one. I mean, obviously, the show's been on forever, and Homer's probably broken every law under the sun. Not the most politically correct, but I could see the family unit there, though.
Now, it's funny you motioned like that because Homer's kind of famous for choking Bart by the throat. Like most good TV dads.
Yeah. I mean, well, sometimes you got to choke a kid. Nope. Said nobody.
Yeah. All right, so the next one is a character from Sex and the City, Steve Brady.
Okay.
I've never seen the show. I can't really comment on it. I'm going to guess that a character from Sex and the City probably shouldn't be on the best TV dads list.
It shouldn't be on the best anything list.
So now we're into the top 10. So this, if you thought the first 10 were bad, Johnny Rose, played by Eugene Levy on Schitt's Creek.
No.
He's funny again. If we're doing funniest TV dads, maybe, but this list is supposed to be best TV dads.
Yeah, no, that's not. I mean, I would have. Yeah, no.
He lost all the family money and forced the family to live in a broken down hotel.
Oh, that's a good dad. He's teaching them the value of $1.
And right there, they're saying he's better than Ray Romano, which his kids might not have been around, but he didn't lose all the money.
Yeah, they at least had a roof over their head and food to eat.
Number 9 is Eric Taylor from Friday Night Lights. I used to watch that show. It's a really good show, and I don't have any problem with him as a TV dad. Mm-hmm. It's an odd choice.
Now,
maybe.
What other show did he star in?
He did that show where he got the morning paper and it said what was going to happen, and he went out and stopped it from happening.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Most recently, he's been in the Godzilla and the Godzilla vs. Kong movie. He's pretty good in those.
You have to have an HBO Max subscription to watch that, right?
Yeah.
What is it now? $29.99 for the subscription?
No. Half price of that. More expensive than every other app, but still.
My God. My damn cable bill is the same price now with just 10 different streaming services, if not more. Get railroaded.
Yeah. Number 8 is Andre Johnson from Blackish.
I like him. I like that show. He's naturally a funny guy, but there's a seriousness to him too. Yeah. He's always trying to teach kids a lesson, but at the same time, a lot of times it backfires, and he learns a lesson. So yeah,
I'd say that's good.
He's good. He's good in the top 10. I like that.
Yeah. Number 7 is Danny Tanner from Full House.
I never liked Danny Tanner.
Now, Bob Saget again is a funny guy. Where would he have been though without like the other two guys? Yeah. I don't see. Yeah.
The other guys were the buffers in that house.
Yeah. It was like, I don't think he would have done so well on his own. I don't know. Best TV dad, number 7?
No. I would have put him a lot higher. If you're going to go top 20, I would have put him outside the top 20.
Yeah. Maybe he could have been 20, and maybe Walter White wouldn't make the list that way.
Yeah. The fact that Bob Saget and Walter White are in the same list is funny to me.
Yeah, Walter White, Tony Soprano, Bob Saget.
Man, the standards were low for this list.
Yeah, this is mind-blowing. I found this list. I just couldn't believe it. Number 6 is Carl Winslow from Family Matters.
All right, now I give Carl. I give him. He deserves that spot. Again, he was always teaching. He was always teaching. And he was the police officer. He was the good guy.
Yeah.
keeping his kids out of trouble, doing right, don't do wrong. Man, if he would have just shot Urkel, the show would have been over and we could have all lived a better life. That's all I'm saying.
Well said. Now, Urkel was like the neighbor kid.
Yeah. And first off, who leaves their front door open?
Yeah.
Just
It never made
lets 'em
sense.
walk
Like,
in.
after a certain amount of time, you'd think they would just start locking the door and maybe, like, not let Urkel in.
Or just shot him when he walked in. Just, hey, he's an intruder. Boom. Urkel dead.
Do you watch the show This Is Us?
So, yes, I have seen it. Now, I don't
Okay.
watch it anymore because it's like sad all the time.
It's a emotionally manipulative is how I would describe that show. They went from being a show that tells stories to a show that's just trying to make you sad every week. Randall Pearson is number 5 from This Is Us.
Hey, listen, to our viewers, if you want to just cry all the time, this is probably a show for you to watch. Okay.
I like how it's our viewers who want to cry all the time. Number 4 is Dan Connor, John Goodman from Roseanne.
I can relate to this guy. I can relate to this. He kind of has that quirkiness about him where, he reminds me a lot of my Uncle AJ. A bigger version of AJ, but
Yeah.
he has that larger than life personality when he comes in the room, and everybody kind of focuses on him when he's talking, and has that vibe to him.
Do you feel like he was kind of a laid back guy? He kind of stayed out of most stuff. Roseanne did most of the parenting, I think, though.
Yeah, that would be kind of like myself and Melly Mells. I'm kind of laid back guy. And the decision. Obviously, I make all the decisions, but I obviously let her, pretend
Think that she does. Oh yeah, we'll get some feedback on this.
I love you, Melly Mells.
Philip Banks, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, number 3.
He put up with a lot of crap.
He did.
But again, I don't see him as the hands-on fatherly type. Obviously, he wasn't, Will Smith's father in that show,
Right.
but he was definitely hands-off. And I think the butler kind of did more of the parenting than anybody did.
Yeah, I think he deserves to be on the list. I don't know about number 3. That seems like
I would have put him outside the top 10.
Yeah, this whole list feels like people that are, you like them, so you put them high on the list, but I don't know if you're technically the best TV dad.
Yeah, I think somebody just said, let's throw 100 TV dads' names in a hat, and we're just going to pick whatever 20.
Yeah. Number 2 is Phil Dunphy, Modern Family.
I love Phil.
Yeah. Funny guy.
Funny guy. Again, always trying to be the guy, but at the same time not be the guy. He always had his own thing going on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he just kind of swooped in at the end when mom fixed everything.
Do you see him as the number 2 dad?
No.
No.
Again, I'd put him outside the top 10 as well.
Yeah. This is a weird list, right?
Yeah, because I'm curious to see who number 1 is, because we're missing a whole lot of TV dads.
Well, you noticed This Is Us was already on here once, and This Is Us is an NBC show, as is Today. So number 1 is Jack Pearson from This Is Us, the Milo Ventimiglia character.
Mm-hmm.
The dad seen in all the flashbacks. Best TV dad.
You're going to leave off Tim Allen?
Now, hold on a second, because we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to name the people that should have been on the list.
Oh yeah. We need to do our own top 10 at least.
Yeah. Well, we'll just mention the people that should have been on the list. We won't put a number on them because we don't want to upset Melly Mel's. I mean, Baloney Nation.
She'll be like, "Row."
We'll be right back.
All right.
We're back.
What a commercial break.
Man, those hit the spot, don't they?
I'm almost out of coffee, so it's like, I have to switch to decaf.
And it's great because we don't actually have commercials, so it just gives our viewing audience a nice 5 seconds to listen to really loud music before we come back.
Yeah. And not that they want us to take a break anyway.
No, they want us to stay out. They would love it if we did 24 hours in a row.
What? Talkin Baloney? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
Wow. Technology-wise, we're almost there. We could probably figure that out.
24-hour show, 7 days a week that doesn't talk about news
or religion,
or politics, or religion. It doesn't talk about news. I mean, we'll talk about news, but it doesn't talk politics or religion.
Yeah, but like the news we talk about is like Ben Affleck and J-Lo getting back together, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that's doomed. That's doomed.
Speaking of doomed, we just listened or went over today's show's top 20 TV dads. We had a lot of issues with it. It was pretty bad. So you were going to mention some TV dads that should have been on there.
Yeah, first I want to say that the guy for the Today's Show that wrote that list should be fired. But
hopefully he was.
How can you possibly have a list, the top 20 TV dads, not include Tim Allen from Home Improvement? Very comedian, funny, very involved with the kids. There was always some kind of story going on.
And they tried to have a lesson each show, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Drummond from Different Strokes. He
now
adopted kids.
Yeah.
He adopted kids.
he had a daughter. Excellent point. He never killed anyone, as far as we know.
No. Oh.
He didn't hit the kids.
No. He gave them a great home to live in. He became their father later on in later episodes, and it's like he made sure that they were saving for college, and he was all about parenting. I don't even know, how is he not in the top 5?
How about Mr. Keaton from Family Ties?
Today's Show.
Yeah. Hello. That was a show on NBC.
Well, this is what happens when your intern writer for the show is only like 18 years old. He doesn't remember any of this stuff.
And the only show they've ever seen is This Is Us.
And they're like, oh, that's a great show. But they're by number 1, number 5, number 12.
I guess, if he hasn't killed anyone, maybe that's why he ended up number 1.
But you can't make a list without saying Mr. Keaton.
Exactly. I feel the same way. Mr. Seaver from Growing Pains.
Yeah.
They had a gaggle of kids.
Yeah. Even though I can't stand Ricky Schroeder and we'll never talk about silver spoons on the show, you would still have to mention him. Because, hell, he still took the kid in, did his thing, was still trying to be a good parent. Obviously, that turned out very badly. And, he's not a good person.
So Walter White was played by Bryan Cranston.
Mm-hmm.
How about his job as the dad, Hal, on Malcolm in the Middle? Hello, you've named the actor. You got the wrong show today.
There it is.
Malcolm in the Middle is a great show, and he was an iconic TV dad.
Yeah. Listen, if you want to talk a newer show, Goldbergs.
The Goldbergs. That's a good one.
Based on a true story, somewhat.
It's incredible. And if you want to contact us with the names of some TV dads that you think should be mentioned, I would check their rap sheet before you let us know.
Yeah.
You can call 585.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If we're following the Today Show standards, hell, we might as well put Bill Cosby on the list.
I understand. I've got an exclusive. I found out number 21 on the list was Charles Manson. So
he was good up until the day.
he brought a family together. You got to admit.
Oh my God.
Today's show.
I'm surprised. Well, that's Today's Show. But if Fox would have did it, he would have been number 1 on the list.
You mentioned Fox. How about Al Bundy?
Again, I mean,
right?
He still cared. He had his own little way of doing things. I mean, I don't know how you can leave him. He never killed anybody.
No, he scored 4 touchdowns in one game.
Yeah, for Polk High.
Yeah, and raised 2 kids. Come on.
And
Today.
He had a wife that didn't have a job, and she just took all of his money.
And like any good TV dad, he enjoyed his alone time in the bathroom.
Yep. Oh my God, they got this list so wrong. They missed so many opportunities here. So many opportunities.
Obviously, Bill Cosby did a lot of wrong stuff. Mm-hmm. But everyone grew up with him as like the number 1 TV dad.
Yeah.
Mr. Huxtable.
You can shut his whole life story down, but I mean, the show still touched millions of people growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, the show was viewed by millions of people growing up.
Yeah. Well, he touched almost 1 million from what I understand. It never gets old.
Let's go back to Happy Days.
Okay. Mr. Cunningham.
Perfect TV dad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who's writing these lists, but man, they're not talking to us. That's the problem.
If this was like a Family Feud and they surveyed like 100 people, I don't think maybe 2 or 3 people from today's list would show up in that survey.
Yeah.
No one's naming Tony Soprano as best TV dad. Great show, but
you could do Tony Danza from Who's the Boss. I mean, I'm not going to say he's in my top 20. He's probably maybe top 100. I mean, but he's there,
He's got a more realistic reason to be on the list than Walter White does, or
yeah. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah,
it's insane. Today's show should be ashamed of themselves, but
wow, it goes with the territory.
Yeah, I mean, who was their last host that got fired?
Matt Lauer, who
he probably wrote this list.
This is what did it. It wasn't the sexual harassment. It was someone saw the TV dad's list he came up with and said, "Nah, you're out of here.
You're out of here, pal.
We can only tolerate so much."
Yeah, that's what it seems like anymore.
Bob Belcher, what?
They're like, get your shit packed. You're out. But here's $25 million, so you're comfortable while you're not working here anymore.
Big time.
Unbelievable.
All right, we got a lot to get to in Baloney Nation.
Oh, yeah.
So we are going to take a break and be right back.
Boom. Jamming,
we are
man.
back.
Just jamming.
We are Baloney Nation, your favorite segment of the show.
Yeah.
If you want to call us, you can call 585-484-1770. Leave a voicemail, send a text message. Let us know what's on your mind. And before we go to answer some questions this week, did you see the big Waffle House stuff on Twitter this week?
All I got to say is that I'm disappointed. They put such a person in that challenge that can't eat more than 2 waffles. Kind of.
Well, let's explain it for anyone who didn't see. There was a guy, I guess he's a journalist of some sort, And he's in a fantasy football league, and he finished in last place. And the punishment for finishing in last is you have to spend 24 hours in a Waffle House. Every time you eat one waffle, you can subtract 1 hour from your stay. So he was tweeting the entire time. And I would say thousands and thousands and thousands of people were following his journey along with him as he struggled to eat 9 waffles. He was there for 15 hours, and he only could eat 9 waffles.
You know what? I just got to say this. You don't deserve a trophy. You should have your Twitter handle taken away from you for putting out such nonsense. I could eat 24 waffles in an hour.
I might have been able to eat 9 waffles in 15 minutes, not 15 hours.
Yeah. 24 hours. I could have probably, hell, I probably could have put down 100 waffles in 24 hours.
Yeah. That's a long time.
Maybe 90 if we're putting syrup and butter on them.
Oh, you got to. Got to have some little Virginia ham with it.
Oh, as long as the coffee keeps coming.
Oh, yeah.
Do I get bathroom breaks?
Yes. So he was allowed bathroom breaks, and he was allowed 15-minute breaks to go into the parking lot if he felt like he was going to throw up.
He ate 9 waffles.
Yeah, I should mention here that he approached this from a perspective that going to Waffle House is some kind of punishment. The majority of the people who were responding to his tweets were saying how awesome Waffle House was.
Waffle House is a 5-star restaurant.
It is. Okay? Hands down.
People need to understand that. Baloney Nation, you need to understand. Waffle House, 5 stars. 5 stars, right there. 5 stars.
5 stars. Raise the roof.
If there was more stars, I would give them more stars. But the rating system only allows for 5. That guy that was doing his thing on Twitter that could only eat 9 waffles. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. You need to seek professional help. You failed.
I would say the good thing that came out of this is we know this guy's a wimp, but we also saw that so many people stuck up for Waffle House, and a lot of people were sharing a video clip that Anthony Bourdain did.
Mm-hmm. He loved Waffle House.
Yeah. He talked about Waffle House with the utmost respect, and he talked about it like a poet.
Mm-hmm. And let's be honest. If the person making your waffles isn't smoking a cigarette, I don't want the waffles. I don't want them.
Yeah.
They weren't made with love and passion. Like he or she was so dedicated to making my waffles, they never put the cigarette down.
That's right.
Come on.
Sometimes you don't even need silverware. They'll just bring the food. Who cares?
You just start rolling it and you start eating it.
That's right.
My God, he had 24 hours to eat waffles. He had bathroom breaks. He had drinks. He could get up and walk to the parking lot. That's not even a challenge.
Yeah. All right.
Folks,
how about this?
We are going to come up with a challenge that fits this.
The next time we go to Waffle House,
okay,
we'll set a time period. Maybe it's an hour. Maybe it's 2 hours. And we see how many waffles we can eat. In that short time frame, I bet we can do more than 9.
I'll bet you I can do 9 in less than a half an hour.
Wow. All right. We got a Baloney Waffle House challenge waiting for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is like literally like taking a waffle from Waffle House.
Couldn't have said it differently. So Baloney Nation, we got a question here. How about a show on Michael J. Fox? And this is Melly Mel submitted this question.
And she was watching the adventure show with Adam Gate. What's his name? I can't remember the guy's name, but he does a Discovery show where they were going back to rebuild the DeLorean. Okay. And it's basically the whole show was on Michael J. Fox and the DeLorean, and he's traveling around with the professor, and In the end, they end up building a DeLorean and they give it, spoiler alert, and they present it to Michael J. Fox for his foundation to, bring in some money. So it's a great show. And, but yeah, she's got Michael J. Fox on the brain this week.
Well, I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Do a show on Michael J. Fox. Yeah.
I think being people who are fans of 80s movies, Michael J. Fox had a lot of great movies.
And the Back to the Future fan club is insane. I thought Star Wars and Harry Potter. I thought they were a little crazy. Man, wait till you see the fan. The whole show is all about the fans and stuff for Back to the Future. And whew, man, who would have known that LL Bean puffer vest that I used to have back in the day was going to be worth so much money?
You watch NXT, right? WWE NXT?
Yep.
You know the wrestler Kushida?
Yeah.
He comes to the ring dressed as Marty every week. He wears the vest with a jean jacket, usually carries like a skateboard, hoverboard. I mean, here's a professional wrestler who is obsessed with Back to the Future.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get it. The movie was so far ahead of its time.
Yeah. Kind of leads us to our next question. Were you guys fans of the old WWE Shotgun Saturday Night TV show?
I'm a fan of anything wrestling, but my favorite was it Saturday Night for Saturday. Yeah, Saturday Night's Main Event. So that was my favorite show they used to do.
Yeah. Shotgun came along later. That was like a 1996, 97, kind of the start of the Attitude Era. And what set it apart was they did shows in weird locations. Like they did, the first one was at a shopping mall, I believe. Mm-hmm. And the big match was Undertaker versus Triple H.
Oh, that's where they're going down the escalators.
Yeah, Undertaker gave Triple H a tombstone at the top of the escalator, and Triple H went all the way down, selling it.
That's great.
So the original concept of doing wrestling shows in weird locations was awesome, and it was a great show. But that only lasted a few months before it became just another Sunday Night Heat / Velocity type show.
Yeah.
Yep. So next up, we got a video to show.
All right.
But you know that viewer could have just asked that. It didn't have to be,
Well, we've been getting a lot of kind of angry questions from viewers lately.
Really?
Yeah. There's this one guy, he writes in almost every week with the same question. He wants to know why Scott Norton was in the NWO.
Yeah,
like,
I'd like to know that too.
Jim, do you have an answer?
I don't know.
He was a big star in Japan. That's the answer. He was huge. And WCW had a working agreement with New Japan Wrestling. And as part of that agreement, a lot of the Japanese wrestlers were in the NWO. And they had the NWO in New Japan as well. So Scott Norton was the bridge between the two groups.
Okay.
Well, here's hoping he's watching.
What, the angry viewer or Scott Norton?
Yeah. Maybe the angry viewer is Scott Norton. He wants to know why was I in there? Why was I in the NWO? I don't know. Why was I in there?
Hey, Scott Norton here, NWO. First thing I'd like to do is put a big shout out to Talkin Baloney. The boys there, you dudes are cool as hell, man. Thanks for having my back. So some dumbass calls in, and that's why I was in the NWO. Well, let me tell you something, boys. You can't fix stupid. This idiot doesn't understand that behind the scenes, there's an enforcer. There's a man that will go the distance and whoop anybody's ass. Well, that dude was me, brother. And I'll tell you something. If you want to find out why I was in the NWO, why don't you look me up at one of these signings, and we'll go in the back and talk about it, and I'll show you exactly why Scott Norton was in the NWO. Talkin Baloney, you guys are cool as hell, man. Have a great day. This guy, just put him on hold next time.
That was great.
There you have it. Scott Norton, a huge Talkin Baloney fan.
Who would have thought?
I mean, it makes sense, but yeah, surprising.
Still looks good.
He looks almost the same as he did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I'd fight him in the ring, too.
Oh, he would kill you.
I'll sign the waiver.
Scott Norton, he was like one of the strongest guys in wrestling, I think. He was just
he looks like
huge.
He looks like somebody you don't want to mess with. I'm glad he likes us.
Yeah, we're on his good side, but whoever wrote in and had that question is on his list now. So
oh yeah,
he better watch out.
Watch your back.
So now it's that time of the show where we talk about what we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you been watching this week, Jim?
So I got a beef with the Sci-Fi Nation.
Oh boy!
And here's my beef. I've been going back and watching these Amazon Prime or Netflix. Actually, I think they're Amazon Prime. You know the old sci-fi shows where like they got the giant alligator, they got the giant crocodile, the giant ants, the giant whatever. The CGI in some of these is so bad. And when I say so bad, I mean it's.
I think you have to narrow it down for us a little. So what are you talking about, like Sci-Fi Channel originals? Are those the movies you're watching?
These are these new, like, straight to video movies that a lot of these actors and actresses are just getting a quick payday for showing their face in. And, you know, they're getting eaten by, like, CGI characters that if you really watch, like, the the monster is not the same, doesn't even look like the same film.
Do you remember the names of any of these?
No, and they're so bad that I keep watching them.
Okay. I'm not sure what that means. So
I just
you hate watching.
I'm hate watching them right now. Yeah.
Wow.
So kudos to those movie directors or whoever that they draw you in, because there's a little bit of a story behind them. So yeah. I'm pulled in, you know, and I'm watching them.
You should take notes so we can know what movies you're talking about.
Next week I will take. Oh, and I did watch what was the
Loki?
I watched Loki, and I like the guy.
He's a great actor.
And I think they were kind of punking him at the beginning of it, and I didn't like it. You know, I was like, oh, I hope this dude turns on him. I hope he kills Owen Wilson.
Wow.
I didn't like how they were punking him in the beginning, and I kind of felt like, you know, maybe, you know, I hope that this leads him down a good path.
Now, did you just watch the first episode?
I just did the first one.
Okay. The second one is out now, so
I will watch it and follow up next week.
Yeah, the story advances. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns in this show, I think.
So I have to ask: is he a good guy, or is he a bad guy, or is he just doesn't know yet?
Well, I mean, he was the main villain in the Thor movies and the first Avengers movie, but he was so popular.
He acts like he still has a heart, though. Like he's still torn over the mom dying. Yeah. You know, maybe he misses the family. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting right now. Like he misses the fam.
Well, I think this shows a bit of a redemption for him, a bit of a face turn, to use wrestling lingo. Mm-hmm. But we have to see where it goes.
See, that would have drawn me in better with Star Wars if Darth Vader was just a good guy from the beginning. And he was just like, I'm killing anybody that comes near, you know, my family.
So they did these movies. They're called the prequels.
Yeah, I know.
Where Darth Vader starts as a little kid who's a good little kid, and then he becomes like a good teenager, and then he becomes... Yeah.
Maybe they should start him as a bad kid, and then he goes to like a group home, and he gets out, and he becomes Darth Vader, the good guy.
Wow.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Listen, I got to take a few seconds out and give a shout out to Pops on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Yeah. Mr. Baseball himself.
That's right.
The original Bob Uecker.
Huge baseball card collection.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he's probably shown you all of them too, Joe. Just about all
I've
of
seen
them.
a lot of them. He's got some really good ones. I'm not a Derek Jeter fan, but for some reason he always shows me Derek Jeter cards.
And I don't know if he's a Derek Jeter fan, but he knows those. He knows what cards have value, and he
knows they're worth something.
Ask him, and you ask him, he's probably got a couple. If you were to walk up to him today and say, "What cards you got in your pocket?" I'll guarantee he's got a Derek Jeter card in his pocket.
So I watched a movie this week, Chips. I watched it on Blu-ray.
Trash.
So the first time, I would say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I tried to watch it on like HBO and I gave up after like 2 minutes. I thought it was awful. Since then, I've seen the actual show Chips on TV a few times. That's a really bad show. It's a really boring, bad TV show.
Yeah.
And now I watched... It had the music and it had nothing else.
Yeah.
So watching the movie, I was able to watch it this time in its entirety and able to watch it from the perspective of, I don't care if it's not like the TV show, because now I realize the TV show wasn't good. And I actually liked the movie. It's pretty funny.
We lose some internet there for a second, it looked like.
We did. I thought you were deeply contemplating, was Chips good?
No.
Was Chips good?
Now that's my I'm taking a crap look.
It's very convincing.
In my pants on the podcast, because I'm all about us.
This is us.
TV Dad of the Year. Crap my pants. I'm still stumped on this top 20 list that the Today Show put out. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost insulting how bad that list was.
Yeah, it's resonating with me right now. I'm okay.
So next week you'll be back here in the studio.
In the new studio set.
The new set. And Melly Mel's will hopefully be joining us.
And we're going to unveil a couple new flavors of beef jerky live.
Ooh, live taste test?
Yeah.
Oh, those are the best.
Test.
I think we've got a beverage to wash those down too, the taste test.
We got some Ghostbuster themed soda or something to taste test live as well.
So a lot to get to next week. Until then, keep it sleazy, Jim Deezy.
Hey, go big or go home, big guy.
Oh!